And literally only two of these novel entities have gotten through, and they both had Fed insiders associated with them. I'm watching, by the way, because Ripple...
Then we got into politics, and all of a sudden, they wouldn't take your call. You couldn't get financing. We were debanked.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Never does. We're in a bull market.
Proves this idea that I think a lot of people don't quite get yet, and I think it's worth looking at because stablecoins are like the proof point. Stablecoins are an institutional product.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I be getting plenty. They want all your bags, and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee. Something big is happening here, glitches. We got XRP currently right around $3.05. She's ready to blow. This is a ticking time bomb. Today, the SEC is expected to deliberate Ripple's decision to withdraw its appeal August 7th. Will this finally put the XRP case to rest? I thought it already ended multiple times. Buckle up, glitches. Monica Long says stablecoin payments are everywhere for good reason. When we met the Rel financial team, we knew their product capabilities would complement the Ripple payments. What Ripple Payments already offers. Together, we're taking this complexity out of stablecoin-based payments for any financial institution's needs. We'll have the capabilities such as stablecoin pay-ins, payouts, including USD, without requiring customers to hold crypto or manage accounts themselves. Not to mention two broad and deep global networks, market-leading liquidity, and more. Welcome Rel today. Another one, acquiring Rel Financial. This strengthens Ripple's leadership in the crypto infrastructure and stablecoin payments by adding Rel's robust back office and virtual account capabilities to our global payments network. BTC who? ETH who? Brad says no such thing as the August doldrums at Ripple. We're excited to share that we're acquiring Rel Financial. Ripple plus Rel together will be the go-to provider of the stablecoin payment infrastructure for global financial institutions around the world. XRP becoming the premier go-to blockchain in the utility era. Ripple to acquire Rel, $200 million, expanding leadership in stablecoin payments. I hope you're loading up on the standard. Justin Ripple's buying Toronto-based stablecoin payment firm Rel for $200 million in a bid to bolster the RLUSD ecosystem it'll run on. XRP. Vet says the new Ripple acquisition Rel supports SEPA, Fedwire, ACH, and Swift payment routes, among a few others, as well as our Layer 1 networks, Bitcoin, ETH, Tron, Solana. XRP Ledger will join that list. A pair of XRP USD could make use of supported payment rails above. All the money, all the value. Ticking time bombs ready to blow. XIF Crypto Senator Amy says that the CFTC is well positioned to fully regulate crypto. She calls Bitcoin, XRP, and other digital assets digital commodities, not securities.
As early as 2015, the CFTC determined that digital assets could be commodities and found that Bitcoin, the largest such asset, was a commodity. Derivatives on Bitcoin and other digital commodities have been listed on CFTC regulated exchanges, and the CFTC has full regulatory authority over these products. But it has only anti-fraud and anti-manipulation authority over the underlying spot markets, a regulatory gap that has resulted in untold losses to customers and the increasing risk of contagion to traditional financial markets as digital commodity markets grow in size and are integrated into the existing financial system. If Congress gives the CFTC the authority and the resources to step in and oversee these spot markets, it would be well positioned to do so given its existing role. And that role is overseeing the digital commodity derivative markets and the enforcement authority it has exercised over the underlying spot markets. Providing regulatory certainty and oversight to these markets can encourage responsible innovation and the adoption of new technologies.
The final dominoes are falling into place. That regulation jar of molasses is bursting open. The transfer of wealth is upon us. Coin Bureau, Trump Jr., we went all in on crypto, debank sued, shut out of the legacy finance. We realized that the financial system was undemocratic. The answer is crypto, XRP. We got in out of necessity, not because it was cool, but because it made sense.
Yeah. Where I could call any single banker in New York City. They'd pick up the phone. I'd be able to get a loan for whatever real estate project I was doing across the street. Then we got into politics, and all of a sudden, they wouldn't take your call. Right. You couldn't get financing. We were debanked. And what I realized, and my brother realized, because we were the recipients of every subpoena imaginable, was that you know what? We were actually just the top of this sort of pyramid scheme that we didn't realize we were a part of, that the financial system was totally undemocratized because we had a certain balance sheet and whatever, we could kind of do whatever we wanted. The regular guy was messed up. Now we were all of a sudden in the shoes of the regular guy that wouldn't be able to take advantage of the markets. And we said, what's the solution for that? The answer is crypto. These decentralized platforms where you're not beholden to this, where you create efficiencies. As a guy that did real estate, why am I paying points in and out for title insurance that could be done on the blockchain? So we got into crypto not because it was like, hey, this is the next cool thing. We got into it out of necessity. We got into it because we understood just how quickly we could be turned off, even as an incredible developer from New York City. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that we didn't change the skyline of New York City, but that disappeared in an instant. I mean, we're getting sued by New York State AG, $500 million fees for paying back loans on time with interest. These aren't, fair markets. There's nothing egalitarian about any of that. So we actually, as innovators, as people who understand these things, we went all in on a concept that makes total sense because we'd actually been the recipient of how quickly that can be shut off.
The pyramid scheme is falling. Meanwhile, Bank XRP President Trump to sign an executive order allowing cryptocurrencies and 401k retirement plans today. But they said crypto was a scam. CoinDesk bullish. Galaxy CEO Mike Novogratz claimed tons of money will pour into crypto markets now that President Trump is planning to sign an executive order to allow crypto, private equity, and real estate investments in 401ks.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Never does. We're in a bull market. Trump last night came out and talked about crypto assets being eligible for 401ks. I mean, that's a monster pool of capital. And what we're just seeing is through these treasury companies, through all kinds of different avenues, the aperture of being able to buy crypto being widened and widened and widened. More avenues bringing people into the tent. I think one of the things that I actually didn't even comprehend is these treasury companies have done so well. The public equity markets are so much bigger than what the crypto markets were. And so as we're really broadening our reach through public equities into our asset class, you're just seeing tons of money pour in.
Digital asset investor a couple of months away from not even knowing what a private key is. Unpopular truth. Mass adoption comes with institutional custody. The floods of money coming isn't going to be comfortable with self-custody. It should always be an option, but it won't be the option.
I think also just better user experiences. We're really, if people are going to be able to use a blockchain, they're not going to have to, they're going to have to not, it's going to have to be the case where you can use a blockchain without having to know what a private key is, or without having to know what a blockchain is. It's just going to have to just work. And I think we're really close. I think we're just a couple of months away from turning some of those corners to true mass adoption, providing the financial services that ordinary people around the world need. And that's why we've been doing this for so long.
The internet of value is upon us. XRP will be running in the background. The masses will miss the rocket ship. Andrew D. Vilbis. I'm in alignment with David saying it's the building of the financial perimeters on and around blockchains that are going to bring value to the underlying network coins. However, this need to be sensible investment products like tokenized saving accounts, on and off ramps, sensible investments. The honeymoon phase is over with blockchain and speculative BTC hypercycles. We have entered the utility market.
Have been real enablers of massive DeFi adoption. And I think also it sort of proves this idea that I think a lot of people don't quite get yet, and I think it's worth looking at because stablecoins are the proof point. Stablecoins are an institutional product. They're heavily regulated. Ripple has a stablecoin. Very few people will ever interact directly with Ripple, but they'll use the stable coin. And so what's happened is this institutional product that, Ripple's customers are institutions, Ripple's direct customers are institutions, Circle's direct customers are institutions, Circle's an institution, but it's enabled these broad DeFi ecosystems. I think that same pattern is going to play out in the rest of the DeFi space with things like tokenized real world assets, tokenized loans. I think mass adoption retail DeFi is a little bit stalled right now because the crypto space itself can't provide the stuff that ordinary people want. People need on and off ramps. They need to be able to get to their money. They need sensible investments. Speculation in cryptocurrencies is great, but it's not going to replace your retirement account. This institutional adoption through stablecoins and real world assets is what's going to enable that next wave of retail adoption of DeFi, where we can provide the tools that ordinary people actually use the financial system for.
In other news, back ladies, we got the Glacier drop, the official Night token claim portal. Link in the description if you want to claim via the Zaman wallet. Digital asset investor mystery solved. For years, Caitlin Long has remained pretty neutral with regard to Ripple, but she came out swinging recently. Want to know why? She's been playing checkers while Ripple's playing chess.
And literally only two of these novel entities have gotten through, and they both had Fed insiders associated with them. I'm watching, by the way, because Ripple, Michael Barr, who we just talked about, was an advisor to Ripple before he went to the Fed.
Right.
And he was vice chair for supervision. So let's see if that, if that trend that companies that have former vice chairs for supervision associated with them get through and everybody else gets held back. Let's see if that turns out to be a trend.
Dark Defender, XRP is cleared, ready for takeoff for the second leg. First targets would be precisely at 585. Oscar says XRP versus BTC chart looks like a ticking time bomb. 7 years of consolidation and it is rounding the edge of a breakout. And you know what they say, the longer the base, the higher in space. SEC case done, partnership stacking up, spot ETF coming. You already know what happens next. You know what's coming. They know what's coming. And they can't stop it. My stash altcoins, I think we're on the verge of something huge for altcoins. Have you noticed that the total 2 is on the verge of breaking the all-time high of 2021? Take a look at 2016 versus 2017. Everything is repeating itself only. Now it's much, much higher. 2016, 2017, 2024, 2025. You ain't seen nothing yet. Take a look at XRP here on the 1 hour. We got the next pivot showing XRP going up to around $3.34. 4 hour time frame shows it going to around $3.13. On the daily time frame, it shows XRP blasting, surging up to around $4.80. And the weekly time frame shows XRP about the same, $4.75. And crypto's TA, the most important XRP resistance, all we need is a 4 hour close above. And the longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP. Rich list, where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed?
Big bags.
We'll catch you up here on the mothership. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander, BYOB. Bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. Smash that subscribe if you haven't already. Shout out to the latest sub. We'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
I hope you hold it a little strong, 'cause we about to boom soon. I hope you hold it a little strong, 'cause we about to boom soon. The road in limbo, staring out my window. I got the formula, stack them bags up and simple, and wait until we explode. I'll meet you at the disco. We just getting started like an intro. 589 the numbers, please, please call out bingo.